Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to create Elorus contacts from WooCommerce orders. So here my objective is that whenever I'm going to create any order in my WooCommerce account, automatically with the details of that order, a contact should be created in my Elorus account. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to simply create an automation between WooCommerce and Elorus with the help of Pabbly Connect. Pabbly Connect runs on two concepts, that is trigger and action. In this process, my trigger application is going to be WooCommerce and my action application is going to be Elorus. If you want to learn how to do this automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create Elorus contact from WooCommerce order. So here my objective is that whenever a new order is going to be added or placed with the help of WooCommerce, automatically a contact of that same person should be added into my Elorus account. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to create an automation between WooCommerce and Elorus with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, we have to click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Create Elorus contact from WooCommerce order, and after that it is asking for a select a folder. On the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which we are going to select a specific folder in which we want to save this workflow in. For that, we have to click on this drop down arrow. So these are the folders that I've created in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select Elorus automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, we are going to click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create Elorus contact from WooCommerce order, and there are two windows in front of you. One says trigger, another says action. Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, what we are going to do is we are going to set up our trigger step by clicking on this arrow, and for the trigger application right over here, we are going to select it as WooCommerce. And for the trigger event, we are going to select it as New Order Created. After selecting a trigger application and the event, over here you can see Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. As our objective is that whenever a new order is created in our WooCommerce account, automatically a contact of that order should be created in our Elorus account. So for that, I've selected my trigger application as WooCommerce and trigger event as New Order Created. And with the help of this webhook URL, what we are going to do is we are going to connect WooCommerce with Pabbly Connect so that whenever a new order is going to be created in our WooCommerce account, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. Firstly, I'm going to copy this webhook from here. By following the steps given here below, we are going to connect WooCommerce with Pabbly Connect. Firstly, I'm going to open my WooCommerce account. So this is my WooCommerce account right over here. And to connect WooCommerce with Pabbly Connect, firstly you have to click on settings right over here from the left panel. After clicking on settings, you have to click on advanced. After clicking on advanced, you can see where it says page setup, from which we are going to select webhooks. After selecting webhooks over here, you can see it says add webhook. We are going to click on it. After clicking on add webhook, it is asking for the webhook name. So I'm going to give a name to my webhook as Demo. So this is the name of my webhook as Demo. For the status, I'm going to select it as active. For the topic over here, I'm going to select it as order created, because we want that Pabbly Connect should capture the response of the order created. That's why for the topic, we've selected as order created. Then for the delivery URL, we're going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After filling all these details, we're going to click on save webhook. As you can see right over here, it says webhook updated successfully. That means the webhook is added successfully. If I'm going to take you back to my Pabbly Connect, over here a response is received, and the response we have received is for the webhook ID. That means the webhook is connected successfully. So as we have received the response for the webhook ID, now what we are going to do is we are going to create a test order in our WooCommerce account, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that order or not. For that, firstly we're going to click on recapture webhook, and we're going to click on yes right over here. So where it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we're going to do is we are going to create an order in our WooCommerce account, and then we're going to check Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response right over here or not. For that, I'm going to open a WooCommerce account. Then from the left panel, we're going to click on orders right over here. After clicking on orders, you can see right over here it says add order. We're going to click on it. As soon as you're going to click on add order, add new orders window is going to appear. Firstly, it is asking for the order custom name. So I'm going to give an order custom text as demo. So this is my order custom text as demo right over here. Next, it is asking for the order details, and for the order details, firstly it is asking for the order that has to be placed on. For the date, I'm going to select a random date from here. After selecting a random date, I'm going to give a random time right over here. For the status over here, I'm going to leave it as pending payment. Next, for the billing details and the shipping details, we're going to add the details. For the billing details, I'm going to add the details for all these fields right over here. Firstly, for the first name right over here, I'm going to add it as demo. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as user. For the company, I don't require this field, so I'm going to skip the part. For the address right over here, I'm going to write it as 123 Modern Colony. Next, it is asking for the address line 2. We're going to skip the part. For the city right over here, I'm going to write it as Indore. For the code right over here, I'm going to write in a dummy code. Then for the country right over here, I'm going to select it as India. So I'm going to select the country as India. For the state over here, I'm going to select it as Madhya Pradesh. For the email address right over here, I'm going to write in a dummy email address. That is demoUser@pabblytunes.com. For the phone number right over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. So I have filled in all the details for the billing. So now we're going to add the details for the shipping as well. So I'm going to add in all the details for the shipping. As you can see that I've filled in all the details. For the first name as demo, last name as user, address as 123 Modern Colony, for the city as Indore, postal code a dummy postal code, country as India, state as Madhya Pradesh, for a phone number dummy mobile number. So as I've filled in all the details, I'm going to click on create right over here. Over here you can see over here it says order updated. So if I'm going to click over here on orders, so this is the order that I've created. I'm going to open the order right over here. So this is the order right over here with all the details as demo user 123 Modern Colony, Indore, a dummy postal code, Madhya Pradesh, India, and all the other details. So this means that we successfully created an order in our WooCommerce account. Now we're going to check whether in Pabbly Connect the order that we have created right now is captured in response or not. For that, I'm going to open a Pabbly Connect account. I'm going to scroll down, and yes, as you can see right over here, our order is captured in our Pabbly Connect account. If I'm going to scroll down, over here for the first name as demo, last name as user, for a phone number, dummy mobile number, postal code for the state as Madhya Pradesh, city as Indore, country as India, address as 123 Modern Colony, and all the other details. So this means that we successfully connected WooCommerce with Pabbly Connect, and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. For that, we have to click on this arrow right over here, and for the action application, we are going to select it as Elorus. So I'm going to select my action application as Elorus, and for the action event as create contact. So I've selected my action application as Elorus and my action event as create contact, because I want that whenever a new order is created in our WooCommerce account, automatically with the help of the order details, the contact should be created in our Elorus account. So that is why I've selected our action application as Elorus and our action event as create contact. After that, I'm going to click on connect. Then a new window is going to appear on which we have to click on add new connection. Over here, after click on add new connection, it is asking for the authorization and the organization ID. So for the authorization, we have to provide the API key along with the token in the prefix. So right over here, I'm going to write it as token as it is required in the prefix. And for the API key, to have the API key, we're going to open our Elorus account. So this is my Elorus account right over here. And to have the access of the API key, what we have to do is we have to click on this profile button right over here. Then we have to click on user profile right over here. After click on user profile over here, you can see an API key is provided. We're going to copy this key from here, and then we're going to paste the key right over here. Next, it is asking for the organization ID. For the organization ID, we're going to go back to our Elorus account. After that, I'm going to click on the dashboard button right over here. So this is my dashboard of the Elorus account, and to have the organization ID, we're going to click on settings right over here. Then we have to click on organization. After clicking on organization, you can see an organization ID is provided. We're going to copy this ID from here and we're going to paste the ID right over here. After that, we're going to click on save right over here. After clicking on save, you can see Elorus is successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. Firstly, it is asking for the custom ID. As it is not a required field, I'm going to skip the part. For the active, I'm going to select it as yes right over here. For the first name over here, what we are going to do is, as we want that whenever an order is placed in our WooCommerce, automatically with the help of the details of the order, we have to create a contact. So what we are going to do is, for the data of the first name, we're going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this automation workflow. How we're going to do that? For that, we'll click on this field over here. You can see this was the previous step of this automation workflow, that is WooCommerce new order created. If I'm going to click on this arrow, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. As it is asking for the first name, I'm going to map the data for the first name right over here. For the first name, I'm going to map the data for the shipping right over here. So I've mapped the data right over here. So now what happens is the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, in place of the map data right over here, the new data is going to be updated. Next, it is asking for the last name. We're going to map the data for the last name as well. So I'm going to map the data for the last name right over here. Next, it is asking for the company. As it is not a required field, I'm going to skip the part. Same for the profession and VAT number. I'm going to skip all this part. For the is client as, I'm going to select it as yes, and is supplier, for that I'm going to select it as no right over here. Then for the default language, I'm going to skip the part. For the default theme, I'm going to skip the part as well. For the default taxes, I'm going to click on map and I'm going to skip the part. Next, it is asking for the default currency code. We're going to skip the part. Next, it is asking for the address line right over here. Over here, we're going to map the data of the address that we have received in our previous step. So I'm going to map the data for the address that we have received right over here. Next, it is asking for the address city. We are going to map the data for the city that we have received in our previous step. I'm going to map the data. Next, it is asking for the state right over here. I'm going to map the data of the state that we have received in our previous step. So I'm going to map the data right over here. Next, it is asking for the address zip, that is the postal code. So I'm going to map the data for the post code that we have received in our previous step right over here. For the country, we're going to map the data for the country. So I'm going to map the data for the country right over here. Next, it is asking for the address ads type. I'm going to skip the part. It is asking for the email right over here. We're going to map the data for the email that we have received in our previous step. So I'm going to map the data right over here. Over here, it is asking email is primary. So over here, it says either write true or false. As the email is primary, I'm going to write over here as true. So I'm going to write over here as true. Next, it is asking for the phone number. I'm going to map the data for the phone number as well. So I'm going to map the data right over here. For the phone primary over here, as the number is primary, I'm going to write over here as true as well. Next, it is asking for the tracking category and the tracking category option right over here. I'm going to skip the part. So after filling all the details, what we're going to do is we're going to click on save and send test request. As you can see right over here, after click on save and send test request, over here we have received a response, and the response that we have received is a positive response. Now we're going to check whether in our Elorus account a new contact is added or not. For that, I'm going to open my Elorus account. And yes, as you can see right over here, a new contact is added in our Elorus account. So this is the same contact. For the name as demo user, for the email as demo user @pabblytuts.com, for the address as 123 Modern Colony, Indore, a dummy postal code Madhya Pradesh, India, for a phone number, dummy mobile number. So this means that we successfully connected WooCommerce with Elorus with the help of Pabbly Connect. But now for all of you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another order in my WooCommerce account, and I'm going to check whether a new contact is going to be created in my Elorus account or not. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my WooCommerce account and I'm going to create a new order. For that, I'm going to click on orders right over here. After click on orders, you have to click on add order. After click on add order, over here with the help of this page, we are going to create a new order. So I'm going to add in all the details that this order is asking for. As you can see that I've filled in all the details. So the custom text as test. For the date over here, a test date, a test time right over here. For the first name as test, last name as account 01. Address as 123 Modern Street. For the city as Bhopal, a dummy zip code right over here. For the country as India, state as Madhya Pradesh, email as testaccount01@pabblytuts.com. For the phone number, dummy mobile number. So after filling all the details, I'm going to click on create to create an order. As you can see right over here, it says order updated. That means an order is added, and as you can see, the order is added successfully. Now we're going to open our Elorus account, and I'm going to check whether a new contact is added to my Elorus account with the help of the details that we have created an order in our WooCommerce account or not. For that, I'm going to open my Elorus account. I'm going to refresh the page. As soon as I'm going to refresh the page over here, you can see a new contact is added. I'm going to open this contact for the name as test account 01 right over here, for the email as testaccount01@pabblytudes.com, for the address as 123 Modern Street, Bhopal, a dummy postal code right over here, state as Madhya Pradesh, country as India, for the phone number, dummy mobile number. So this means that we successfully created an automation between WooCommerce and Elorus with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, my objective was that whenever I'm going to add a new order in my WooCommerce account, with the help of the order details, a contact should be added in my Elorus account. For that, I've created an automation between WooCommerce and Elorus with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this is how we create an automation between these two applications. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.